Yemi and Yetunde met during their final year at Unilag. It was love at first sight. Yetunde was one of those people everybody wanted to be around. She was beautiful, smart, and was so friendly that it felt like everybody knew her. Yemi, on the other hand, was handsome, and he was known as the smartest guy in the engineering department. Everyone said that he was going places. When Yemi finally walked up the corridor to tell Yetunde how he felt, they soon started dating not long after. As they got closer, Yemi soon discovered that Yetunde came from a very wealthy family. Her father had made a fortune in oil and gas before he passed away, leaving her with a huge trust fund. Yetunde had 3 brothers, and the eldest one managed a trust fund for her. All the 3 brothers were successful, and they always made sure that their sister never lacked anything. Yemi found out about all of this after they had been dating for about a year. Coming from a modest background himself, he didn't know how to feel. He had always felt uneasy around rich people, but he loved Yetunde deeply, so he pushed those feelings aside and focused on their future together. After graduation, Yemi landed a good engineering job, and Yetunde opened a small restaurant. Their relationship stayed strong, and when Yemi finally proposed, Yetunde was very happy to accept. However, things started to go wrong at their wedding. Yetunde's brothers were thrilled about their sister's big day, and they took care of all of the expenses. Yemi felt uncomfortable and out of place because he could not afford the kind of wedding that they were putting on. On the day of the wedding, he spent most of it in a bad mood and frowned throughout the pictures. When Yetunde asked him what was wrong, he just shrugged it off. Then at the end of the night, Yetunde's brothers presented her with a brand new Range Rover. They gave a big speech about how much they would miss their sister, and they welcomed Yemi to the family. Yemi pretended throughout, but he was furious. He kept it to himself until they were alone in their hotel room. "Need to return that car," he said, barely containing his anger. "We don't need their charity. I'm supposed to provide for this family." Yetunde was caught off guard. "But it's not charity," she said, trying to stay calm. "They are my brothers, Yemi. They just want us to start our life together." But Yemi wasn't having it. He felt disrespected and was determined to buy her a car himself. He stayed angry for weeks, barely speaking to her, until Yetunde reluctantly agreed to return the Range Rover. She told her brothers that the car was too flashy and attracted too much attention. Yemi was finally happy about this, and he took out a bank loan to buy her a Toyota Camry instead. Yetunde tried to tell him that she did not need the car, but Yemi was not having it, so she eventually had to accept it. She kept her thoughts to herself to avoid another argument. "I don't want us depending on them," Yemi told her family. "We can manage just fine on our own." Yetunde, wanting to keep the peace, agreed. The early years of their marriage were happy. Yemi did well in his job, and Yetunde's restaurant became popular. They had 3 daughters, and had soon built a comfortable life without needing air or any help from Yetunde's family. But Yetunde noticed that Yemi was often disrespectful towards her brothers. He made rude comments about earning his own money through hard work, unlike those people who had inherited it. When Yetunde suggested asking for her brothers' advice or support, especially when they went through tough times, Yemi always said, "We don't need their help, we can do this on our own." Yetunde respected his wishes, even though managing everything alone was hard. She loved Yemi and hoped that his worries would go away with time. 7 years into their marriage, Yemi lost his job because the company was downsizing. The news hit him hard, and he struggled to cope. Yetunde kept reassuring him, saying that he was smart and would soon find another job. However, months went by with no success. Yemi, who was once confident and hardworking, became withdrawn and bitter. Yetunde took on more work at the restaurant to support her family. "Don't worry, Yemi, we'll get through this together," she would say. As Yemi's drinking got worse, so did his behavior. He became more distant and angry, often lashing out at Yetunde over the smallest things. The man who had once been her biggest supporter now seemed to resent her. Yetunde did her best to hold things together for the sake of their children, but it wasn't easy. The loving, happy home they had built together was starting to fall apart. One night, after Yemi had been out drinking again, Yetunde tried to talk to him. "Yemi, this isn't you," she said gently. "We need to find a way out of this together." But Yemi wasn't in the mood to listen. "You don't understand," he said, glaring at her. "You and your rich family have no idea what it's like to struggle. This is all because of them." Yetunde's heart sank. "Yemi, we're a team. I'm here to help you, not to make things worse." But Yemi just coughed. "Help? You think working at that little restaurant is helping? I'm supposed to be the one providing for this family, and now I'm nothing. Yetunde felt tears welling up, but she fought them back. You're not nothing, Yemi. You are my husband, and I love you. We'll get through this, but you have to stop blaming yourself and everyone else. Yemi just shook his head and walked past her, heading straight for the bedroom without another word. The days that followed were difficult. Yemi's behavior didn't improve, and Yetunde was running out of ways to reach him. The children started to notice the tension in the house, and it broke Yetunde's heart to see them worried. She did her best to shield them from the worst of it, but there was only so much that she could do. One afternoon, Yetunde's eldest brother, Kayode, paid her a visit at the restaurant. You could tell something was wrong as soon as he saw her. Yetunde, you don't look so well, he said. Is everything alright? Yetunde forced a smile. I'm fine, Bruce. I'm just a little tired, that's all. But Kayode wasn't convinced. I've known you all my life, Yetunde. We can't fool me. What's going on? Yetunde stated, not wanting to burden her brother with her problems. But the weight of everything she had been carrying finally became too much. She broke down and told her brother everything about Yemi losing his job, his drinking, and how he had started blaming her and their family for his troubles. Kayode listened quietly, his expression growing more serious by the minute. When Yetunde finished, he sighed deeply. I had a feeling something was going on, but I didn't want to pry. Yetunde, you don't have to go through this alone. We are your family and we want to help. What would your husband think about us helping him? Yetunde shook her head. I appreciate that, but I don't think Yemi would accept help from anyone, especially not from you guys. He's too proud. Kayode frowned. But this isn't about pride, Yetunde. It's about doing what's best for your family. Let me call him and talk to him and see what happens. Yetunde knew that her brother was right, but she was worried about how her husband was going to react to this. Following her brother's visits, things finally reached a breaking point one night. Yemi came home that evening. He had received a phone call from Yetunde's brother, and he was angry. Yetunde, I can't believe you went around telling your family my business. Is it because I don't have a job anymore? Yemi, in a fit of frustration, nearly lost control. He raised his hand as if to strike Yetunde, but stopped himself just in time. The look of fear and hurt in Yetunde's eyes made him realize the gravity of what he had done. He stood there for a minute, and then without a word, he turned and left the house, disappearing into the night. Yetunde spent the rest of that night wide awake. Her mind was racing. She couldn't believe how things had fallen so bad. The next morning, she knew what she had to do. She packed the bag, gathered the children, and went on to stay with her brother, Kayode. She couldn't risk staying in the house any longer, not after what had happened. 2 days later, Yemi showed up at Kayode's house. He looked a little bit better than when she last saw him, but the sadness in his eyes was very clear. When Yetunde opened the door, he stood there for a moment before finally speaking. I'm sorry, Yemi said. His voice was strained. I need help, Yetunde. I know I've been wrong, but I can't be around you guys right now. I feel threatened by everything your family has and is messing with my head. Yetunde's heart ached at his words. Yemi, we can walk to this together. You don't have to go through it alone. But Yemi shook his head. I can't, Yetunde. I need to figure this out on my own. I don't want to drag you or the kids down with me. Yetunde tried to reason with him, but it was clear that his mind was made up. Please don't do this. The girls need their father, she begged. But Yemi's eyes were filled with regrets. He looked at Yetunde one last time. I'm sorry, Yetunde, I just can't. With that, he left, cutting off all contact. He didn't see Yetunde or the children again for a long time. Yetunde soon threw herself into her work, focusing on her restaurant and making it more successful than it was before. It was the only way she knew how to cope with the pain of Yemi's abandonment. As the months passed, she expanded on the menu, she hired more staff, and even opened a second location in a nearby town. Her hard work soon paid off, and soon her restaurant was one of the most popular in the area. But no matter how much success she found, there was always a part of her that felt empty. She missed Yemi. Even after everything that had happened, she missed the man he used to be, the one who loved her so deeply and supported her dreams. And most of all, she missed the family they once had. Their daughters too, they soon felt the absence of their father. They often asked about him less and less as time went on, but Yetunde could see the sadness in their eyes whenever they mentioned his name. She did her best to be there for them, to fill the void that Yemi had left, but it was not enough. Yetunde soon found herself moving on. She wasn't actively looking for a new relationship, But life has a way of surprising us when we least expect it. She met Kola at a charity event organized by a mutual friend. He was kind, patient, and understanding. Everything Yetunde needed at that point in her life. Unlike Yemi, Kola came from a similar background, and he admired the strength that Yetunde had shown in raising their daughters alone. Their relationship soon progressed slowly at first, because Yetunde was cautious about introducing him to her girls. But when she did, Kola proved to be a natural with them. He was funny, gentle, and he quickly became a father figure to the children who adored him. Kola understood the challenges of stepping into a family that was already formed, and he never tried to replace Yemi. Instead, he focused on building his own relationship with Yetunde and their daughters. With time, Yetunde found herself trusting him completely and letting down the walls that she had built around her heart. After 2 years together, Kola proposed. It was a beautiful evening in a small intimate dinner with Yetunde and the girls. Kola got down on one knee and asked her to marry him, promising to love her and her daughters for the rest of his life. With tears in her eyes, Yetunde said yes. They began planning their wedding, and for the first time in a long while, Yetunde felt genuinely happy and at peace. But just as preparations were in full swing, an unexpected visitor showed up at Yetunde's door. Yemi's mother. The older woman had not been in touch much since Yemi left, but now she was here looking frail and worried. "Yetunde, I need to talk to you right there," she said, her voice trembling. "Yemi has been trying to reach you. He's not doing well. He wants to apologize." Yetunde felt a wave of emotions she hadn't expected. She invited Yemi's mother in and listened as she explained that Yemi had hit rock bottom and realized the mistakes he had made. He had been attending counseling and was trying to rebuild his life, but he couldn't move forward without making amends to Yetunde and their children. A few days later, Yemi contacted her. His voice was softer, more vulnerable than she remembered. He apologized for everything, the way he had treated her, abandoning their family and cutting off contact. He said he understood if she couldn't forgive him, but he wanted her to know how sorry he was. Yemi also expressed how much he missed their daughters and how he wanted to be part of their lives again. Yemi was strong. Yetunde was strong. She had moved on and she had found happiness again with Kola, and yet hearing Yemi's voice stirred up old feelings. She began questioning everything, her feelings for Yemi, her relationship with Kola, and the future that she had been so sure of just days before. She confided in Kola, who listened without judgment. He told her that he loved her and I would support her no matter what she decided. "I want you to be happy, Yetunde. That's all I've ever wanted," he told her he said openly, holding her hand. In the end, Yetunde knew she had to make a decision, not just for herself but her children. She thought about the life she had built with Kola, the stability and love he had brought into their lives, and how much her daughters had blossomed with him around. She also thought about Yemi, the father of her children, the man she had once loved so deeply. Could she trust him again? Did she even love him? Did she still love him? After much soul searching, Yetunde made her decision. She met with Yemi one last time and told him that while she forgave him and wanted him to be part of their children's lives, she had moved on. She explained that her heart now belonged to Kola, the man who had stayed when Yemi stepped out, and she couldn't go back. Yemi accepted her decision with grace, although it was clear he was heartbroken. He thanked her for her honesty and promised to be the best father he could be from then on. Yetunde returned to Kola with a clear mind and heart. On their wedding day, surrounded by friends, family, and their children, she knew she had made the right choice. As she walked down the aisle, she saw Kola's face. She saw Kola and her face lit up. She felt a deep sense of peace and happiness. In the end, Yetunde found a happy ending, not just in love but in the life she had built, a life where her daughters were supported, loved, and cherished. The morals of this story are many. First is about pride and insecurity. Yemi's pride and insecurity led him to refuse help from Yetunde's family, which could have eased their struggles. His refusal to accept the car gift and his anger towards Yetunde's family are examples of how pride can make things worse. Second is about communication and support. Yetunde's constant communication were the key to trying to save their marriage. She kept reassuring Yemi during tough times, even when he was drinking heavily and lashing out. Resilience and determination. Despite their many challenges, Yetunde worked hard, Despite facing many challenges, Yetunde worked hard. She took multiple jobs and eventually was able to relocate to the States. Her determination to provide a better life for her children, even when things were tough, is a great example of resilience. Breaking free from the past, Yetunde and her kids moved to the United States and they started a new chapter in their lives. They left behind the difficulties with Yemi and embraced a better future. This shows that you can create a new, happier future, no matter what happened in the past. Thank you so much for watching this story. If you liked it and want to share more, be sure to like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.